Reading 12 of CFA 2018, Risk Management for Individuals. Two primary asset types for individuals can be described broadly as human capital and financial capital. Human capital is the net present value of the individual's future expected labor income, whereas financial capital consists of asset currently owned by individual, which can include items such as a bank account, individual securities, pooled funds, a retirement account, and home. Net wealth is an extension of the net worth that individuals claimed to future assets that can be used for consumption, such as human capital, as well as the present value of pension benefits. So net wealth is an extension of it that claims future assets like human capital and the present value of a pension. There are typically 4 steps in determining an individual's risk management. Specify the objective, identify the risk, evaluate the risk, select the appropriate methods to manage the risk, and monitor the outcomes and risk exposures. The financial stages of life for adults can be categorized in the following 7 periods: the education phase, early career, career development, peak accumulation, pre-retirement, retirement, and late retirement. Early and late retirement, The primary goal of an economic or a holistic balance sheet is to derive at an accurate depiction of individuals' financial health by accounting for the present value of all available marketable and non-marketable assets, as well as liabilities. An economic holistic balance sheet includes traditional assets and liabilities, as well as human capital, pension value, and assets, and includes consumption and bequests as liabilities. The total economic wealth of an individual changes throughout her lifetime, as do the underlying assets that make up the wealth. Total economic wealth of younger individuals is typically dominated by the value of their human capital. Earnings risk refers to risks associated with earnings potential of an individual, that is, events that could negatively affect someone's human and financial capital. Premature death risk relates to the death of an individual, such as a family member, whose future earnings were expected to help pay for the financial needs and aspirations of the family. Longevity risk is the risk of reaching an age at which one's income and financial assets are insufficient to provide adequate support. Property risk relates to the possibility that one's property may be damaged, destroyed, stolen, or lost. There are different types of property insurance depending on the asset, such as automobile insurance and homeowners insurance. Liability risk refers to the possibility that an individual or other entity may be held legally liable for the financial costs of the property damage or the physical injury. Health risk refers to the risks and implications associated with illness and injury. Health risks manifest themselves in different ways over the life cycle and can have significant implications for human capital. The primary purpose for life insurance is to help replace the economic value an individual could contribute to a family. The family's need for life insurance is related to potential loss associated with future earnings power. 2 main types of life insurance are temporary and permanent. Temporary life insurance, or term life insurance, provides insurance for a certain period of time, whereas permanent life insurance, or whole life insurance, is used to provide lifetime coverage, assuming the premiums are paid over the entire period. Fixed annuities provide a benefit that is fixed or known for life, whereas variable annuities have a benefit that can change over time, generally based on some underlying portfolio or investment. When selecting between variable and fixed annuities, there's a number of important considerations, such as the volatility of the benefit, the flexibility, and the future market expectations. Among the factors that would likely increase the demand for annuity are the following: longer than average life expectancy, greater preference for a lifetime income, less concern for leaving money to heirs, more conservative investment preferences, and a lower guaranteed income from other sources, like pensions. Techniques for managing risk are risk avoidance, risk reduction, risk transfer, risk retention. The most appropriate choice among these techniques is often related to the consideration of the frequency and severity of losses associated with the risk. The decision to retain risk or buy insurance is determined by a household risk tolerance. At the same level of wealth, a more risk-tolerant household will prefer to retain more risk, either through higher insurance or just simply not buying risk. higher insurance deductibles, or by not buying risk. Insurance products that have a higher load will encourage a household to retain more risk. An individual's total economic wealth affects portfolio construction through asset allocation, which includes overall allocation to risky assets as well as to the underlying asset classes, such as stocks and bonds. Investment risk, property risk, human capital risk can be idiosyncratic or systematic. Examples of idiosyncratic risk include the risks of a specific occupation, the risks of living a very long life, or experiencing a long-term illness, the risks of premature death or loss of property. Systematic risks affect all households.